Hello everyone, welcome to Court with Krissy. I have so many questions with this case. Like, how did the system fail this child? Did the husband not notice they had a kid missing for 4 years? And where did the money go? But no matter the answers, this monster of a foster mom better not be offered a plea deal. I hope you like it. Court with Krissy is now in session.
Your name, please.
Christina Schroer, Your Honor.
Thank you. We just skipped Alfaro. We'll go back to him.
I believe there's some confusion. He may have bonded. I'm not sure, but they're going to find out right now, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. All right, we're going to go on the record in State of Kansas versus Christina E. Schroer, 2025 CR 53. The state appears by and through Darren Deviney. He is the Butler County Attorney. He's charged you as follows. In count 1, on or about the first day of October 2020 through the 15th day of December 2020 in Butler County, Kansas, that you did unlawfully kill a human being, to wit, KJS, year of birth 2014, while in the commission of committing or attempting to commit an inherently dangerous felony, to wit, abuse of a child as defined in KSA 215602 and amendments thereto. That is considered felony murder, which is murder in the first degree in the state of Kansas. It is an off-grid person felony. If convicted, your sentence would be 25 years to life in prison. It's not a determinate sentencing. It would involve the parole board, but you could not even be considered to be released under any circumstances till you've at least served 25 years, and it could very well be up to life. All right. In count 2, you're charged with abuse of a child. It's alleged that on or about the first day of October through the 15th day of December, you did knowingly torture or cruelly beat a child at least 6 years of age, but less than 18, to wit, KJS, year of birth 2014, in violation of 215602A1. B1 is the penalty section. This particular penalty was effective 7/1 of 2019 with the age range. A level 5 person felony looks at your criminal history and the level of offense. Severity levels for crimes that are not off-grid are 1 through 10, 1 being the highest, 10 being the lowest. This is a 5. If convicted, it carries a possible prison sentence of anywhere from 31 months up to 136 months, up to $100,000 fine. However, your primary base offense is the highest level of offense that you're charged with if you're convicted of it, and that is in count 1, an off-grid life sentence felony murder. Okay. However, some of these could be potentially ran consecutive, so that's why I'm telling you what each individual charge could potentially carry as far as a potential sentence. Count 3, it's alleged 21st day of November 2023 in Butler County, Kansas, you did knowingly torture, cruelly beat, or strike a child of at least 6 years of age, but less than 18. That is a different child, MJS, year of birth 2016. That abuse of a child is also a level 5 felony in the state of Kansas with a sentencing range of 31 months up to 136 months with the Department of Corrections. Then in count 4, you're charged with abuse of a child involving MAS, year of birth 2013. So that would be 10 years of age at the time. It's alleged that on or about the 21st day of November 2023, you did knowingly torture, cruelly beat, or strike or kick a child at least 6 years of age but less than 18. To wit, as I indicated, MAS, year of birth 2013. That is a separate charge of abuse of a child. It has a sentencing range of 31 months up to 136 months with the Department of Corrections. Count 4, or that's count 4. Count 5, you're charged with making false information. It's alleged that on or about the first day of December 2020 through the first day of October 2024 in Butler County, Kansas, that you did unlawfully generate, make, cause to be made or generated a written instrument or check that falsely represented or stated material information that was false, that was done with the intent to defraud or induce official action, which would be considered a felony offense. That is a level 8. It is non-person, carries a sentencing range of 7 months up to 23 months with the Department of Corrections, up to $100,000 fine with restitution. So if you were receiving Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security benefits, state benefits, anything of that nature, that you were filling out documents and making claims that were untrue and were fraudulent in nature, you could not only be fined, but you could be ordered to repay whatever amount was given to you under those circumstances. In count 6, you're charged that on or about the first day of December 2020 through the first day of October 2024 in Butler County, Kansas, you did unlawfully obtain control over property or services by deception, to wit, $23,000 with the intent to permanently deprive the Kansas Department of Children and Families of the possession, use, or benefit of said property. It is known as welfare fraud. It's a level 9 non-person felony. Again, you could be ordered to pay restitution. You could be ordered to serve a sentence of anywhere from 5 months up to 17 months with the Department of Corrections, up to $100,000 fine. In count 7, you're charged with Medicaid fraud. It's alleged that on or about the first day of December through the first day of October 2024 in Butler County, Kansas, that you did, with the intent to defraud, make, present, or submit or offer false or fraudulent claims for the payment of any goods, services, in whole or in part, to the Medicaid program, with the aggregate amount being at least $1,000 but less than $25,000. That is also a level 9 person felony if convicted. 5 months up to 17 months with the Department of Corrections, up to $100,000 fine. There apparently is a particular crime in the state of Kansas for failing to report the disappearance or death of a child. And you've been charged by the county attorney in count 8 with on or about the first day of November 2020 through the 10th day of September 2024 in Butler County, Kansas, that you did knowingly fail to promptly report the death of a child, to wit, KJS, year of birth 2014, to any law enforcement agency, or state investigative agency with the intent to conceal the commission of said crime. by a parent, legal guardian, or caretaker of a child. This particular statute is in violation of KSA 215938B1, capital A, penalty provision, small c2, capital A. It is listed as a level 8 non-person felony. It carries a sentencing range of 7 months up to 23 months with the Department of Corrections. Lastly, in count 9, you're charged with the criminal desecration of a body or human remains. It's alleged that on or about the first day of October 2020 through the 15th day of December 2020 in Butler County, Kansas, that you did then and there unlawfully or knowingly obtain or attempt to obtain unauthorized control of a dead body, remains of a human being or coffin or urn or article containing a dead body or human remains in violation of KSA 216205A1B2. Again, it's what's termed as criminal desecration. It happens to be a Class A non-person misdemeanor. It carries a maximum of 1 year in the county jail and a $2,500 fine. Obviously, once again, the most serious offense for which you're charged with is murder. And it is defined as a first-degree murder, as an inherently dangerous felony that you're charged with that caused the death of a human being, as indicated in this case, KJS. I've entered or am entering not guilty pleas for you on these felonies. The case has been assigned to me. Can you afford to hire an attorney? Other than receiving adoption subsidies or state benefits, did you have any other source of personal income?
No, I filed for disability in December of 2024. I've been a stay-at-home mom for 31 years. I have no form of income.
How many biological children do you have?
4,
4 natural children. Are they all grown? Are they of the age of majority?
yes,
They're over 18?
yes,
Okay. How many adoptive or adopted minor children do you have?
4,
Are any of them foster children?
no, we adopted them all out of foster care.
All right. They are currently subject to child in need of care cases and taken out of your custody. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have a court-appointed attorney appointed to you in those cases?
Chris Pate,
Okay. Are you requesting that he be appointed to represent you
yes, please.
in this felony charge?
Yes, please.
All right. I will appoint Chris Pate of Wichita, Kansas to represent you on this new criminal case that's been filed, 25 CR 53. I understand that you are from Rose Hill. Is that correct?
That's where my house is, yes. But there's a no contact order with my husband and I. I've been living with my daughter in Oklahoma, with our college daughter in Oklahoma.
All right. Well, let's talk about your bond, and let me look here. Oftentimes when I have a homicide case or a case of that magnitude, instead of preliminary hearing controls, I set your cases directly for an evidentiary preliminary hearing. So I want to look. Mr. Devaney, are you going to be the primary attorney on this case?
Yes.
Okay. What does your calendar look like on Wednesday, March the 12th? Or Tuesday, March the 11th?
Either one's open right now, Your Honor.
Okay. I have, a preliminary hearing day on the 19th of March, but those are 1 hour at a time, segments, and I think this case will take longer than that.
Judge, I can tell you that there's a lot of discovery to go through. I was just meeting with law enforcement this morning about that. By the time we transfer this to Mr. Pate, I want to make sure that Mr. Pate would have plenty of time to schedule that as well. So I don't know if we need to coordinate with him before we set that date, or I'll leave that to the court's discretion.
I think I want to go ahead and set my March 17th preliminary hearing control docket is full, beyond full.
Okay.
And there's so many cases at that time. I want to give this a special setting. So what I'm thinking is if we do this March the 12th at 9 a.m., she can meet with Mr. Pate, and if he's not ready, he'll let our office know that he would like a new date, and we can use that as an actual control setting.
Okay, so, but we'll set it
Okay.
today for a preliminary hearing on March 12th?
Yes, at 9
Okay.
a.m. But I'm pretty confident once we give him notice and he gets hold of you and gets discovery, he'll let us know if he wants that date extended or not.
Okay.
Okay. All right, and I set your case for an evidentiary preliminary hearing. That's a probable cause hearing in front of myself on Wednesday, March the 12th. That will be in person in courtroom A at the Judicial Center at the Butler County Courthouse, starting at 9 a.m. Now, the next issue with you is a bond setting. Mr. Devaney, argument recommendations on bond.
Well, Your Honor, obviously the charges are considerable in this case. There's no criminal history made aware of. I will note that the defendant, as she already mentioned, has been living out of state in Oklahoma for some time. I do know that there is history, at least, of the family also having some property in the state of Missouri. I don't know if they still own or manage that land. I think that might have been sold, if I recall. But given, of course, the gravity of the charges as well as the number of charges, I believe that a $500,000 cash or surety bond is appropriate in this matter, and that we certainly, if she has passport or any documentation that would allow her to leave the country, that's also something I think needs to be turned in if it's available.
It's in Oklahoma with my daughter.
Since last year, when the investigation commenced, Mr. Devaney, I assume that you were aware of the investigation. Has she known that she was looking at criminal charges, and that she was under investigation for
I think
criminal?
that's certainly been looming ever since she confessed to her husband what happened. He contacted 911, and from that point forward, I think she's been put on notice, and that occurred. That was September, I want to say 13th of 24,
September 10th.
or thereabouts.
Okay.
She does have a pending divorce action with the father, as well as the child needed care cases that have been going on.
And a guardianship case going on too. And I've been in Oklahoma since October 3rd of 2024. And when Rose Hill called me Friday and told me that they were ready to talk to me, they wanted me Monday. I said, what time? They said, anytime after 9 a.m. I said, I'll be there at 9 a.m. I actually came to Kansas a day early, got a hold of Detective Tharp, told her which hotel I was in and where I was at, so that she knew where I was. And I showed up at the Rose Hill Police Station at 9 a.m. to talk to them, knowing I had charges. She told me the day before I was being charged.
Okay. All right, don't interrupt Mr. Devaney, please.
I'm
Mr.
sorry.
Devaney, do you have anything else that you would like to state?
Well, Your Honor, I think there's no limits as to what could be suggested here today by the defendant. The state's alleging she had committed a homicide of her own child, buried that child within a few yards of her bedroom window, her bedroom door access on their own property. And that did not stop the abuse. It wasn't just that one child. You can see that there's multiple children in the home that are subject to these child abuse charges. It is discerning and sifting through the numbers and instances of abusive conduct within the home has been quite a challenge. I spent a considerable amount of time with law enforcement this morning trying to sort through it. There may be additional charges that the state would amend to at this point. But the ruse has been set now for years at this point of covering up this crime. Since disclosing her role to her husband about this, she has been, I will say, accessible to law enforcement. They have contacted her. She's contacted them. There have been high levels of communication, but now that the charges are there and we're actually looking at what it is that she might be criminally responsible for and what she might stand trial for to determine that guilt, sets a different tone, certainly. And I think that the high level, again, of the crimes that we're looking at and a higher bond needs to be appropriate in accord with the level of severity of these offenses and the fact that it was such a long-term period of time in which she defrauded the state from Medicaid, adoption subsidy payments, defrauded her family, and continued to abuse children in the home.
Okay. Ms. Schroer, do you have someone else that you can live with in the state of Kansas besides this daughter in Oklahoma?
I have a camper that I have my friends own that said I could stay in it if I needed to stay in the state of Kansas.
Did this daughter that you were staying with that's going to college, does she have children?
No, she's 24. She's by herself.
Okay.
She's in medical school to be a pharmacist.
Okay. I'm going to set your bond at, given the fact that it appears that you appeared as directed, and this case has been under investigation, and the point is for you to prepare for the trial in the matter. I am going to set your bond at $250,000 cash or surety, but I'm going to put you on GPS so that we know where you're at all times. And I'm not going to allow you to leave the state. So if you bond out, you can't go back to Oklahoma. She'll have to bring your things here. And I want your passport delivered to Rose Hill Police Department for them to keep it so that you have no access to any passport. You're obviously not allowed to leave the country. You're not even allowed to leave the state for any reason. I want you to live in the state. I want you to be on GPS. I want you to post a $250,000 surety bond. I want you to not be around any minor children. So I don't know about these friends or this camper, but I don't want you anywhere near any minor children during the pendency of this case. And I do not want you having any contact at this time with your estranged husband, your husband that you're in a divorce
We have
with.
a no contact order in place.
Okay, well, this will be a criminal no contact order.
Okay.
So any violations of these things, if someone posts bond for you, would result in your bond being revoked and you return to the custody of the Butler County Jail. Are there any other provisions? Is there any evidence of some drug or alcohol issue or anything else that needs to be monitored?
Not that I'm aware of, Your Honor.
Any other conditions that you're requesting?
No, ma'am.
All right. If there's nothing further on this case, then we are adjourned for today.